Your smartphone is now a medical device in several ways. Diagnostic. Subscribe. Wow, nowadays everybody is using smartphone, and apart from other informations they are transforming many aspects of medical care too. The medicalized smartphone is becoming not only a convenient accessory in modern healthcare but also a full-fledged diagnostic tool that can be easily used anywhere in the world. The practical implications of using a smartphone device to diagnose many common health conditions are huge. Most phones' technical specifications are now so advanced they can compete with technology found in the doctor's office. The idea of turning a smartphone into a point-of-care diagnostic tool has become a reality. It is saving money, speeding up the assessment process, making some procedures widely available even in developing countries, and giving patients, users more control of their own care. Smartphones in prenatal care. Smartphones are now being used as portable ultrasound imaging systems and can confirm and track pregnancies. Mobisante launched the first FDA-approved ultrasound that works on smartphones. But the scope of its use is not limited to obstetrics and gynecology. A smartphone ultrasound can assess kidney disorders, guide injections, aspirations and line placements, and is also being used in pre-hospital triage. Infectious diseases. Scientists at Columbia University have developed a low-cost smartphone accessory that can quickly and easily test for 3 infectious disease markers: HIV antibody, treponemal-specific antibody for syphilis, and the non-treponemal antibody for active syphilis infection. Within 15 minutes, a smartphone can produce a reliable diagnosis based on an analysis of a small sample of blood. Since sexually transmitted diseases (STDs) present a serious risk for the unborn child, the device was piloted with pregnant women in Rwanda. These initial users were enrolled in a program that aims to prevent mother-to-child transmission of STDs. The initial results were promising. Associate Professor Samuel K. Sia and his team wrote in their article, published in Science Translational Medicine, that the work demonstrated a full laboratory-quality immunoassay can be run on a smartphone accessory. Smartphone as a stethoscope. Smartphones can now double as portable stethoscopes, gathering recordings of a person's heartbeat and sending this information over to a doctor for further assessment. All that you need is an application that records the body's inner sounds using the phone's microphone. Mobile stethoscope is one such application designed for Apple products. No actual stethoscope is required, you just need headphones or large speakers and you can hear the beat of your heart. A team from MIT has also developed the first USB-powered mobile stethoscope, which gets its power from a smartphone and acts as a low-cost diagnostic tool. This innovation has the potential to identify respiratory disease, which is a cause of over 14% of deaths worldwide. 2 of the scientists behind this invention, Dan Chamberlain and Rich Fletcher, tested their mobile platform on patients at a pulmonary clinic in India. They developed an algorithm that can automatically detect a wheezing sound. The technology proved to be accurate in 86% of the cases. Checking eyesight with a smartphone. Many smartphone screens now have high enough resolution they have the ability to check eyesight and provide recommendations on the type of corrective lenses a person might need. Clip-on eyepiece (NETRA), produced by iNetra, is now available and can detect some eye problems that otherwise often remain undiagnosed. NETRA is a personalized tool that can test for farsightedness, hyperopia, nearsightedness, myopia, and misshaped eye astigmatism, bringing the possibility of eye care to millions who otherwise might lack access to simple eye tests. Cancer and smartphones. OzCan, for early lung and skin cancer detection. OzCan is another detection device that attaches to a smartphone. It was designed for scanning the mouth to discover early stages of oral cancer. OzCan is aimed at places where there is limited access to a dentist, since dental visits are usually where suspicious lesions in the mouth are detected. The device was developed by a team at Stanford University and underwent testing in India, an area where oral cancer often goes unnoticed. The device can take images of the patient's mouth and send them to an off-site expert for analysis. Progress has also been made in using smartphones for early lung and skin cancer detection. Smartphones diagnosing Parkinson's disease. Smartphone-based systems have now been developed that can diagnose and assess the symptoms of Parkinson's disease. Gait disturbances are a prominent feature of the condition, including periods of freezing and initiation difficulties. Smartphone assessments, therefore, often focus on gait. They can help with early symptom detection as they offer continuous tracking. However, not all systems available today have been validated on the population of Parkinson's patients. A group of scientists from Singapore developed and validated a smartphone application SmartMove that both assesses gait and provides a therapy option. Their application uses the smartphone's accelerometer and gyroscope to calculate step time and length. It also provides personalized rhythmic auditory cueing (RAC), a method of external sensory stimulation which has been widely recognized as a non-pharmacological way of improving a patient's walking pattern. Other smartphone applications have also focused on voice changes, tremor and slow movement, bradykinesia, three other characteristics of Parkinson's. For instance, a finger-tapping smartphone application has been developed to test for motor dysfunction. This application was shown to be comparable to conventionally used methods of assessment and might be a more convenient clinical tool. Electrocardiogram (ECG). Most ECG machines are consoles about the size of a laptop computer, attached to as many as 12 wires that are then attached to a patient's body. Today, crude ECG recordings can be taken by smart watches. There's a variety of opinion about the accuracy and clinical effectiveness of these recordings. Even better ECG recordings can be taken with smartphone apps connected to as few as 4 leads that most anyone can be taught to attach. Other new systems include devices the size of a business card that the users can touch with their fingers to get an ECG reading that connects wirelessly to a smartphone. Electroencephalogram (EEG). Electroencephalogram devices measure the electrical activity of the brain. They are used for a variety of purposes, including diagnosing and monitoring patients with epilepsy. Traditionally, epilepsy patients have had to travel to EEG centers, where they are fitted with several leads that are glued to their scalp. But with smartphone technology, it's possible for patients to monitor themselves at home and transmit the data to their neurologist. A proof-of-concept study in Nature.com determined that this innovation could soon make EEG technology available to millions of epilepsy sufferers who have limited access to EEG centers. The otoscope. Every pediatrician has an otoscope for looking in children's ears, generally to diagnose ear infections. This capability, called pneumatic otoscopy, requires some skill to learn. However, the most significant limitation of the technique is the otoscope itself, which very often provides the practitioner with only the most fleeting glimpse of a child's tiny eardrum. The cameras on smartphones now provide such high resolution under limited light conditions that a simple attachment provides high-resolution magnified views, giving doctors, and now parents, the ability to capture images of the eardrum, which can be sent to a doctor. The ophthalmoscope. Specialized attachments and associated applications have turned smartphones into devices that produce images almost as good as those available in eye doctors' offices. The technology may not become available to the general public, however, because these examinations often require the use of pupil-dilating eye drops, which are used only in office settings. Simpler devices, however, are able to perform visual acuity exams, alerting patients when their eyeglass prescriptions become outdated. Imaging. Vendors are beginning to look for ways that smartphones could enable clinicians to quickly and inexpensively gain insight into patients through imaging. For example, Butterfly Network, a rising medical imaging company, is making a pocket-sized ultrasound device that plugs into an iPhone. It could make the scan-s vastly more accessible. In another example, a novel way to locate regions of interest in dermoscopy images can improve the detection of skin lesions through the use of an app on a consumer mobile device, enabling real-time identification and diagnosis of cancer and other skin conditions, according to new research reported in archive.org, part of the Cornell University Library. The approach uses an attachment to a smartphone that improves its ability to image skin lesions. Patient monitoring. Through the use of apps and attachments, smartphones also can better inform patients who need to continually monitor their conditions. For example, in one study, patients with diabetes and uncontrolled hypertension who used a smartphone app were able to significantly reduce their blood pressure within 6 weeks. The pilot study was funded by vendor Livongo, the maker of the app that remotely monitors blood pressure, provides recommendations on healthy choices and connects users with a health coach. The study showed that participants' systolic blood pressure declined by an average of 5.4 mm Hg and diastolic pressure declined by 3.5 mm Hg on average. Communication aid with device manufacturers. Smartphones also have the capability to monitor the performance of medical devices being used to aid patients. For example, Medtronic is marketing a mobile app for patients with pacemakers that communicates with patients' smartphones and tablet devices. The MyCareLink Heart app securely sends device data to the Medtronic CareLink network, which can eliminate the need for remote monitoring hardware, according to the vendor, which manufactures biomedical engineering devices and technology. Summary. Some physicians have voiced concerns about diagnostic devices being used in patients' homes. Expertise and judgment are required when interpreting any medical test. Nevertheless, no one expects smartphone-based devices to completely replace the physician. Only trained cardiologists can read ECGs, and only trained neurologists can read EEGs. For other devices, physicians can and should actively participate in guiding the patient through the diagnostic and therapeutic process. Skilled nurses can help patients use these devices in ways that can greatly increase their accuracy. Still, there's a risk that patients might take too much medical care into their own hands, increasing the need to offer close provider-patient interaction in their use. Subscribe, like and share.